SportsTownChicago.com. O'Hare, broadcasting live from Sportstown, Chicago. Broadcast home for your Windy City Bulls and Chicago Dogs. We're in a league of our own. Now, here's your SportstownChicago.com update.
At 12:26, I'm Drew Thomas, your SportstownChicago.com update, powered by the Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com. Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson are getting ready for the NFL Combine as they are down in Indianapolis getting ready to look at some of the potential talent in this year's draft. Workouts begin Thursday. Hopefully they don't get too comfortable in Indiana because that may be where the Bears end up calling home soon. Kobe White will return, but is still listed as probable, as we will see if he will make his debut for the Hornets, as the Hornets will be at the UC taking on the Bulls at 7 on Chicago Sports Network. We'll be returning to some NHL hockey on Thursday as we wrapped up Team USA, and Team USA has been living it up in Miami this weekend after coming home with an overtime victory over Canada for the gold 2-1. As the Blackhawks will be playing Thursday, and they'll be skating down to Nashville to take on the Predators. Puck drop at 7 on CHSN and ESPN+. The Cubs signed Michael Conforto to a minor league deal, who as they start the Cactus League, they are 1-3, and today will be facing off the Padres at 2:05. White Sox, if you flip the script, they are 3-1, and they will be taking on the Mariners at 2:10 today for spring training. Former White Sox ace Chris Sale signed a 1-year extension with the Braves, coming off an all-star season last year. And ILL Fighting Illini will be taking on the Wolverines of Michigan at home Friday. Michigan is ranked 3rd and Illinois is ranked 10th. The game will be at 7 on Fox. This has been your SportstownChicago.com update, powered by the Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com.
Good morning. This is Scoreboard Therapy. Back out to Allen. History trying to with Josh. Drew.
Oh, too big, too strong, too fast, too good.
And Ernie.
We will be perfect. Let's go.
And welcome to today's episode of Scoreboard Therapy. I am Ernie, along with...
I am Drew. We got a new guest today.
My name is Esteban Ortega.
And welcome to Scoreboard Therapy. Today, we have the art of being a backup quarterback, realistic backup quarterback moves, especially as we get into NFL free agency. What I dub the Bears tax, and who is a true rival. Now, the art of being a backup quarterback, I understand that we've got some audio for that. We'll have a listen.
Outside the 10 with Ian Wheeler into the game at running back. He takes the fake, and the flats goes Steven Carlson. Bajan goes to the end zone and finds the man in the corner. It is Tyler Scott for a touchdown. Third down again. Willis holds on. Willis rolls and throws, and it's snatched for the touchdown by Watson. Jones, pressure in his face over the middle. Touchdown, Jawan Jennings.
Cousins over the middle, wide open, and there into the end zone goes Kyle Pitts for the touchdown.
And as you heard, that was all audio of the various backup quarterbacks that we've gotten to see in the last 5 years or so, ranging from Tyson Bagent to Malik Willis, or even Kirk Cousins. And I believe Mac Jones was in the mix as well.
Mac Jones. So, the art of being a backup QB.
Now, of course, okay. We know that there's plenty of rags to riches where someone like Kurt Warner, for instance, started as a backup quarterback, and then the year that he got promoted, Rams win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
We got a lot of those, but what about the guys where they will always be a backup, or if they do get a chance as a starter, it's to I don't know, I guess bridge a gap.
Well, so, and again, going off what you're saying is like, what I see is like Aaron Rodgers. Who was he a backup for?
Brett Favre.
And look at what that turned out to be. Jordan Love, I would say he is a good quarterback. And look at who he was a backup for.
Rodgers.
And I don't always like the fact that a lot of these young QBs just have to get thrown in the fire and they don't get any teaching before that. But, so like, what do you do? And again, this is kind of where I feel like this is going. Like, what do you do with either you have a guy you're trying to train up and you have a vet trying to teach him, or you have your star, but hey, if your star gets hurt, I mean, we saw
a backup plan.
Yeah, we saw it this year. I believe. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We almost had like 10 backup QBs at least
Wow.
played this year because of injuries.
That's insane. But considering what we've been seeing on the field, it's pretty understandable. The first one that came to mind was Mac Jones coming in for Brock Purdy, especially since, well, let's be honest, when the Niners are good, they're really good. But in their bad years, it's because they can't catch a break. They're always hurt. But this was the one year where there were a lot of injuries for San Francisco, but they were able to get through that. And part of that was Mac Jones really stepping up the way he did. Now, as I understand, during the 2021 draft, Shanahan did want Mac Jones instead of Trey Lance.
Yes.
So, it definitely really worked out for Kyle Shanahan in a way.
Well, so
What's
hear it,
so funny?
Esteban.
All right, what do you have to say, Esteban?
Trey Lance, like what? Like I'm still wondering why. Like what possessed San Francisco?
I think that was an ownership decision, if I remember correctly. Like they wanted Trey more than Mac, especially since they had to trade up to the 3rd overall pick, and they gave up a lot to get to that.
Yeah, how did that work out for them?
Well, it did stop them because they drafted Purdy the next year, and they've been golden.
Mr. Unreliable. I mean,
Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah.
So I like Trey Lance, and I think he'll be a decent backup. I mean, I think he's still bouncing around from last time I saw.
When is he going to be? Like when?
Oh no, I'm just saying a backup. Like this is the whole part. Like these guys are like he is a backup who, and what I mean I like him. I think, does he become a perennial star in the league? No.
No.
But hey, I bring it up now. I mean, you're Kansas City, and you don't have Patrick Mahomes is out for
They were cooked.
They were cooked the whole season. So it's like, hey, bring in somebody like Trey Lance who can learn the system young and fill him in. I mean, we had Jake Browning for the Bengals with Joe Burrow.
And I guess back to the Niners, Brock Purdy started as the 3rd stringer for the Niners in 2022 because Jimmy G gets hurt, Trey Lance gets hurt. It's all on Purdy, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, Brock Purdy looks like the guy.
Yeah. Look how many QBs started for the Browns, and that's not even, now we know, I don't know who still wins that starting job, but you had Jake Browning for the Bengals this year, and you only could do so much with that team because they're
the Bengals even tried out Joe Flacco after they traded for him from the Browns.
Yes, they did.
Good old Grandpa Joe.
You had Jackson Dart, another guy who needed a backup a little bit of the season. He was splitting time. You had Marcus Mariota, who's playing for the Commanders. Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett, he's still chugging along, and he looked better with that Cardinals offense than Murray did.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a shocker.
You had and getting into the conversation, Tyler Shuck.
Yes, yeah, you got it right.
Yeah.
He looked better. He looks a million times better than Spencer Rattler has.
So, I guess where I'm trying to go with this conversation is what if you are a franchise, and again, we'll get into a little bit more with the Bears soon, but you are the Packers, you are the Bears, you have Drake May, or you have your all-star quarterback, Kansas City, all these teams, right? QBs get injured. Lamar Jackson got hurt this year too. These are QBs that have gotten hurt all year.
And you want a guy that you can trust because if you don't have someone, maybe you panic like the Colts and you bring Phillip Rivers out of retirement. Now, the other reason Rivers did that is because he's got, 10 kids, and the insurance, stops after 5 years, and he extended
system though.
Yeah, and now he extended it by another 5 years because of all his kids. But he did look like a guy who hadn't been on a field in 5 years. But the Colts also wanted to keep their playoff hopes alive, and once they were eliminated, it's like, okay, Phillip, thanks for the help. Let's put Riley Leonard out there.
So, do you, as a team, if you have a backup QB, right, and you have, let's just go Bears' sake for this matter, you have Caleb Williams, and we'll get there soon. So you have this backup, and you want to do whatever you can to make sure they know the system. They turn into some of the best coaches a lot of the time because Kevin O'Connell just won the Super Bowl, and look, he was a backup QB.
Exactly.
So you have these guys who learn the system. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl as soon as who got hurt?
Carson Wentz.
Yes, Wentz went down.
And if you want to go further back, Jeff Hostetler stepping in for Phil Simms when the Giants won the Super Bowl against the Bills.
Yes. So do you keep a backup QB on your team and hey, I'm gonna just hoard him, almost hey, this guy's good. I know he can go somewhere else and potentially win a starting job, but if I just keep him in almost hey, you're never gonna be a starter with us, but I just want to hold you and hoard you in my on my team just in case I need to call you for that emergency. What do you do with that?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you, okay, you're Caleb Williams, right? You have Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles. They come up to you and tell you, hey, we need you to take Tyson Bagent under your wing and show him the ropes and whatnot, right? Well, for one, what do you if you're Caleb Williams, how do you feel about that one? You're looking at Tyson Bagent, he's, I'm not going to say every bit as talented as you are, but, in some cases, just as talented as you are. Like you said, Tyson Bagent's one of those backup quarterbacks with starting quarterback potential, right? Mm-hmm. Right. And you've had instances like that before, with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. What are you thinking? If you're Caleb Williams, what would your interaction with Tyson Bagent be? How would you talk to him and be like, hey, we're supposed to be
in this
friends?
case, it's with Bagent, he's been with the Bears a year longer than Williams.
Yes.
And the other thing is, Bagent, I think, understands that he and Caleb Williams, or even before that, Justin Fields, have to be on the same page. That way, if something were to happen, the Bears can just take Bagent, plug him in, and the team, won't skip a beat. They'll still, win games that they should be winning, at least until Caleb Williams or whoever the quarterback is able to come back, if at all, assuming that whatever injury they suffer from isn't season ending.
Yeah, I agree with Ernie on that aspect. If I'm Caleb Williams, I'm not letting Tyson steal my job.
Yeah.
But
you also don't see him as competition.
Yes. And am I going to be his best bud? If he's cool, if I like him, maybe,
maybe.
Because we hang out all the time. We're doing everything together, so we're going to be friends.
Exactly.
But I also have to know that, there's a chance. Tyson wants your job. And now, am I going to teach him, everything I do? No, because he knows this is my team, and then ownership has made that clear that this is Caleb Williams' team.
Yes,
but I need to be able to relate with you because there has to be that option of plug and replace. They do plays where Tyson will come in and throw a touchdown, or come in and do a trick play or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more of the fact it's you're not gonna say it stinks for Tyson, but as Tyson, he believes he's a starter. He's young, so scenario with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. Brett Favre was at the end of his career. Aaron Rodgers just broke into the league. These are that's a gap difference, right? That's why they want to bring Kirk Cousins to maybe to Minnesota to try to figure out how to get JJ McCarthy learning the system and becoming a better QB, because we're seeing him being thrown out there to the wolves.
Yeah, because clearly there wasn't that kind of relationship with him and Darnold the year prior.
Honestly, if there's anybody in the world that I feel like may be able to fix whatever JJ McCarthy's got going up there in Minnesota, I think Kirk Cousins is that guy, because Kirk Cousins, he's got an extensive history in Minnesota.
Of course. Now, with all this talk of us with backup quarterbacks, what are the realistic moves really to have them go either somewhere else or stay with their teams? You'll be surprised what we all have to say here on Scoreboard Therapy.
Big Apple Bagels at the corner of Jefferson and Essington says, get fresh with us. Stop in for 3 free bagels. Just mention you heard it on the radio. Big Apple Bagels says, sample the Oreo cookie bagels or Oreo cookie cream cheese, as well as delicious pumpkin cream cheese. Try Brewster's Gourmet Coffee, along with big, soft, chewy bagels at Big Apple Bagels. Open 6 to 6, Monday through Friday, 7 to 5 Saturday, and 7 to 2 on Sunday for your convenience. Go to Big Apple Bagels and print out a coupon for 3 free bagels. Big Apple Bagels at the corner of Jefferson and Essington and Joliet. Odyssey Cruise, Sunday, May 8th. Treat mom like royalty aboard an Odyssey Cruise. Experience a lavish Mother's Day brunch or early dinner cruise with spectacular views of the Chicago skyline, lively entertainment, great food and fun. But hurry, our Mother's Day cruises are selling out fast. For information on Mother's Day and other cruises and events, go to odysseycruises.com or 866-305-2469. Create lasting memories and celebrate mom with a special Mother's Day cruise on a Odyssey Cruise. Odyssey Cruises, 866-305-2469 or odysseycruises.com.
When car dealers fight for your business, you win! AutoJudo.com makes car buying fun by letting dealers compete for your business live! Real-time AutoJudo fights are the fast and easy new way to get multiple dealers' best offers on any car you want! It's free and anonymous! Only the dealer you select as the winner of your AutoJudo fight receives your contact info! And you're never obligated to buy, so test drive your best deals now at AutoJudo.com! Dealers fight, you save! Looking for a great bargain? Want to find cool collectibles? Need to get fresh fruit and vegetables for the family? Come on down to Swaparama. 3 great locations, 42nd and Ashland in Chicago, Melrose Park, and Alsip, with hundreds of indoor and outdoor vendors selling clothing, tools, electronics, and much, much more. Holy cow! Have stuff for sale? Become a Swaparama vendor and turn your hidden treasure into cash. Visit their website for market days, hours, and vendor information. Go to swap-o-rama.com. Swaparama, the first name in flea markets.
Big Apple Bagels at the corner of Jefferson and Exeter says, get fresh with us. Stop in for 3 free bagels. Just mention you heard it on the radio. Big Apple Bagels says, sample the Oreo cookie bagels or the Oreo cookie and cream cheese, as well as delicious pumpkin cream cheese. Try Booster Gourmet Coffee, along with big, soft, chewy bagels at the Big Apple Bagels. Open 6 to 6, Monday through Friday, 7 to 5 Saturday, and 7 to 2 on Sunday for your convenience. Go to BigAppleBagels.com and print out a coupon for 3 free bagels. Big Apple Bagels at the corner of Jefferson and Essington. Enjoy it.
Sit back and relax on your couch as we're here with Scoreboard Therapy.
And welcome back to Scoreboard Therapy. Now, in the last segment, we talked about what the art of being a backup quarterback is, but now let's look at what the realistic moves are, whether or not certain backups stay with their team or they get traded. Because with this offseason, especially with the backups that we saw this season and even in years prior, there is a lot of pent-up demand, especially for some quarterback-hungry teams like the Arizona Cardinals or the New York Jets, just to name a couple. Now, let's first start off with our guy, Tyson Bagent. Now, does anyone here think that he will move, like he'll get traded if the price is right, or do you think the Bears keep him? I think it's 50-50 personally, because he knows the system. He's got a good relationship with Caleb, but if the price is right, because like we've discussed before, the Arizona Cardinals have come and knocking. If the price is right, I think, it would be good to have Tyson, go off on his own, prove himself, of course, because he's proven that he can play. And then maybe they draft someone else, like another young quarterback that can be taken under like the wing of Caleb and Case Keenum to learn the system and be plugged in if something was to happen to Caleb.
Yeah, I mean, I believe, even today, we have Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson speaking during the Combine. And Ryan Poles was actually asked a few questions during the Combine, and we can listen to that here.
Yeah, we anticipated that just because of the environment. Both, I think, if you piece and kind of do an overlay of the draft and free agency, we anticipated someone like Tyson's going to get some, interest. We've gotten a few calls there. What Ben thinks about Tyson, what I think about Tyson, what our locker room thinks about Tyson. That's a really tough decision for us. But for Tyson as well, I think he would have an opportunity to go and perform for our team and do some really good things. But again, you got to weigh the short term and long term. So now, what's the cost of replacement?
And again, that's Ryan Poles today, actually talking at the Combine in Indianapolis, and people are interested, and people want what they have been able to see during the regular season, during preseason, seeing how the Bears are going about training Caleb. If they're training Caleb a certain way, Tyson's getting trained a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Their QB coach is training them the same way. And teams that are hungry, as you said, like the Cardinals, are calling. We have Malik Willis, who honestly he stepped in.
Oh, absolutely. He really stepped up this year for the Packers with Jordan Love going down. Of course they still got one and done in the playoffs, but still, Malik Willis before was a bust with the Titans.
Yes.
He was an absolute joke, him and Will Levis with the Titans, and he comes to Green Bay, and all of a sudden, it's like a switch flipped in him.
Honestly, when it comes to Malik Willis, this is just personal opinion, but if you ask me, I feel like Malik Willis outplayed Jordan Love last year.
I don't see. Okay. That's fair opinion.
I've seen a lot of people say that.
Jordan Love. He's just not. He's not consistent yet. He'll have games where, he goes out there and he just dots them up. It's like short passes, boom, boom,
and then you've got games like last year against the Browns and against the Panthers, which should be easy wins, and he fumbles it.
But I see that as being a young QB learning his steps, and you see the same thing with Caleb. You see Caleb go out there and he makes those miraculous plays. You're like, oh my goodness, Caleb's
holy cow!
But I'm gonna be honest, he misses a lot of gimme passes. A lot because he does too much.
I'm not gonna deny that.
Or he forces throws, and he's just lucky. A lot of defenders, and when smart QBs, hey, that's a forced throw. Let me just dip it out of bounds, or throw an incomplete pass. I'm okay with my average being bad as long as I don't throw a pick and turn the ball over.
Honestly, when it comes to Caleb Williams and Ben, and the Bears of last year, comparing them to the Bears of the year before, I don't know if it's just me, but I've noticed if you guys really go back to the year of Matt Eberflus was a first half head coach, meaning in the first half of the game, He had his foot on the gas. He wasn't letting up.
Oh yeah, and they just hit the brakes when the second half started.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, Ben Johnson comes into town, and it's the script is literally flipped to a point where throughout the first half you're poking the Bears hey, do something, come on, do something, and then next thing you know, the Bears come out in the second half and say, hey, now we're gonna show you what happens when you poke a bear.
But that's not even Ben Johnson said. He doesn't want to play that way. I don't think he likes. You don't like having to make a comeback. No, all the time.
He wants more consistency across all four quarters.
Of course, that's why you mentioned Jordan Love and how he has games where he's a hit or miss. Caleb Williams had what? I think 7 of them games. How many times did we come back in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, and that's where. Again, your statement of Malik Willis being better than Jordan Love this season, it's a hot take. I don't don't absolutely agree with it, but
you don't disagree with
either
it,
way.
Right?
Yeah, I think he can earn himself a starting job somewhere. I would not tell you. I would tell you right now, he is not a starter on the Packers.
Las Vegas is calling.
Las Vegas is calling a lot. Well, they need to call.
They need
Fernando
someone.
Mendoza right now.
No, and they probably also want someone to go along with Fernando because he's gonna get the crap kicked out of him in that first year.
Thank you. And so off of that, we have like teams like Kansas City Chiefs. Like they're right now slotted at like Gardner Minshew as being their. I don't even know if he returns this year, but like okay. Patrick Mahomes is out for the first few games of the season with what he got hurt with last year. It's like, okay, who's your backup QB? Who's going to fill in?
It's not going to be Gardner Minshew or whoever the guy was after that, whose name I can't even remember. But he was such a forgettable flop.
But bringing in like a Kirk Cousins to almost like a Raiders team.
Oh yeah,
like hey Mendoza, you're going to be the starting QB in like 2 years, maybe, or a year to do 2 years. Hey, let me just bring out
maybe 8 weeks at the very least.
Let me bring out Kirk Cousins, kind of show you the ropes, read a team.
Yeah,
everybody likes Kirk Cousins. I mean, he's just
he's a very likable guy. I will say that about Kirk.
Or he ends up back in Minnesota and
teach 9.
There you go, teach 9. I actually like JJ. I think he's getting put in a tough situation. I think he again, we talk about
the Vikings kind of screwed up his early development, especially when they were riding high on Darnold.
I think he tries too hard sometimes.
Absolutely.
And it's just like, honestly, bring Jameis Winston out to Vegas. I'm sure Vegas will have a show with Winston out
will love it.
Dancing in Vegas, and Mendoza just like again getting his reps in and getting him prepared to start. I mean, QBs get hurt. Didn't you have Andy Dalton play this year?
Yeah,
too?
He played because Bryce Young was out, and they put Dalton in, and he's not a superstar, but Andy Dalton is still reliable even in the space year 2026.
So real quick, because I pulled it up, ESPN did drop a top 10 QB backup quarterbacks. Now, this was for the 2025 season. And again, I still believe Malik Willis and Tyson need to be on this list. But it's like Kirk Cousins, Jake Browning. I mean, they actually had Jackson Dart listed as a backup to start the year, but because they had that's because they had Russell Wilson starting.
Dangerous.
Good old Grandpa Russ.
Yeah, they had Anthony Richardson. I mean, I forget about him. I mean, he's a house. Carson Wentz is out there. Again, just looking at some of the backups in the league, and that's why I honestly could see Malik Willis or Tyler. I can't always say
Tyson.
No, Tyson
Bagent.
He goes to a team, and like again, the Bears have to get something back for him.
Yeah,
and how high you can get back, it depends what you see at the combine.
Yeah, especially when you consider Bagent was an undrafted guy, so they didn't even spare a pick to get him in the first place.
So if you get a second from Arizona, I mean, it's enticing to.
Oh, it is. It's very enticing.
I want a first, but you're not going to get a first.
No, not for Tyson Bagent.
Maybe somehow you get Tremaine Edmonds in there too, and maybe you snag a first. But again, you don't waste that on a QB. You definitely kind of go.
No. You're building up that the rest of your
team.
Yeah, the rest of the team. Yeah, I was trying to say something more specific, but lost my train of thought.
Honestly, as far as like the Bears go, and I'm gonna say this now. As far as the Bears rebuild goes, get rid of Tremaine Edmonds. Get rid of the house of glass that is TJ Edwards because the man can't stay on the field. And I would probably throw in like maybe I don't know if I would throw in a draft pick because I don't know, but I mean that defense with the Bears, we need help. So yeah, I'm gonna mortgage Tremaine Edmonds and the other guy's
Tyson.
name
Tyson.
No, TJ Edwards.
So are you keeping Tyson?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna keep Tyson Bagent and just
you're hoarding him.
Tyson Bagent, dude. Like Tyson Bagent, the way I look at him, he's from what I've seen so far, I feel like he's like a diamond in the rough.
But do you never allow him? You said diamond in the rough, right?
Yeah.
But do you never allow him to sparkle?
I mean,
because one of these days he's gonna want to sparkle.
Yeah.
That's my question. I mean,
well, I mean,
and again, this is kind of the whole talk from earlier. Is like, do you hoard him as the Bears and be like, hey, listen, you're great, we need you. If he wins a Super Bowl, if the Bears win a Super Bowl, it's fire sale.
Yeah. Oh God. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
But like, I mean, again, you could only. I think the Bears know this too, and they know as a person, for Tyson, he wants to be a starter. And you can't hoard somebody forever unless they're okay with it. And I think he's too young to be okay with it.
Yeah, but I mean, now with that one being said, like, okay, let's say we keep Tyson Bagent or whatnot, keep him for a few more years, and then next thing you know, when he gets his chance to be a starter or whatnot, he goes gold. Look at what happened with Nick Foles and Carson Wentz. They were both backups, and they were both just thrust into the limelight, and they ended up winning Super Bowls.
Yeah, that is true. Now, third part of talking about the NFL, frankly, I really wanted to get into what I think is the Bears tax. You probably heard it around social media if you're on there, but frankly, it's a very interesting thing that I think we need to discuss especially with some events that happen with a former assistant GM going to the Atlanta Falcons. And you'll hear more about that here on Scoreboard Therapy.
Back to your home for sports.
Here's your SportsTownChicago.com update.
It is 12:58, and I'm Ernie Krause with your SportsTownChicago.com update powered by the Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com. Cubs finally got their first spring training wins. They took down the Royals 3-2 yesterday at Surprise Stadium. Cubs will return to Sloan Park to take on the Padres today at 2:05. For the White Sox, they lost their first spring training game of the year to the Rockies 5-4 yesterday at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Sox will travel to Peoria Stadium to face the Mariners today at 2:10. Bulls are at home tonight against the Hornets at 7 on CHSN as they look to snap a 9-game losing streak. And the Blackhawks are back on Thursday in Nashville against the Predators on ESPN+. To college hoops, number 10 Illinois will be hosting number 3 ranked Michigan on Friday in Champaign at 7 on Fox. So look for that insane rivalry. Northwestern today is going to be in Bloomington as they will be taking on Indiana at 6 on FS1. To the soccer pitch. Saturday at 1:30 is the Fire's home opener at Soldier Field as they will take on CF Montreal. Fire are looking for their first win of the season after losing Saturday's season opener to the Dynamo in Houston. And in NFL news, Ryan Poles spoke to the media yesterday during the first day of the NFL Combine as he answered questions about the Bears not getting compensatory picks for former assistant GM Ian Cunningham from the Falcons. Cunningham also expressed similar views when asked by the media as well. It remains unclear as to whether or not the Bears can appeal the league's decision. And that has been your SportsTownChicago.com update powered by the Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com.
Want to find cool collectibles? Need to get fresh fruit and vegetables for your family? Come on down to Swap Around. Great locations. 42nd at Ashland, Chicago, Flywest Park, Ashton. With 100 of indoor and outdoor vendors selling clothes, tools, electronics, and much, much more. Have stuff for sale? Come on, Swap Around a vendor and turn your hidden treasure into cash. Visit their website for market days, hours, and vendor information. Go to swap-o-rama.com. Swap Around. First name in the flea markets.
Did you know that Club New in Aurora is the ultimate entertainment complex? Monday nights, it's free football and darts in the sports bar. Tuesday night is league night. Join the pool or darts teams. Wednesday night is ladies' night at Club New. All ladies get in free. Gentlemen pay $5 cover after 9 p.m. Thursday night, start the weekend off right with College Flashback Night. Low price drinks, retro music, and an awesome buffet. Friday and Saturday night, it's the hottest dance club in the suburbs. Club New Nightclub and Sports Bar is located at 2121 New York Street in Aurora. It's the summer of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. To reach peak summer mode, you need your summer coffee. Like a smooth new s'mores frozen Dunkin' coffee, a refreshing butter pecan iced coffee, or a sweet coconut cream pie cold brew. What could be better than an iced or frozen coffee on a hot summer day? Nothing! Dunkin' Donuts has all your favorite flavors this summer. So, come enjoy the summer of coffee. And keep cool out there, kids. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
Glad you stuck around. We're back with Scoreboard Therapy.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think I kind of put that whole thing into two buckets. One, really proud that Ian has the opportunity to be a general manager. Something we've talked about for a long time before we even employed by the Bears. It was our vision to climb through the ranks, get a seat, the GM seat, and then help the other one get to their position as well. So really happy for him. How we do that and why we do that has nothing to do with compensation whatsoever. I want to make that very clear. On the other side, there's a set of rules that were put in place that I think can be applied to this situation. So we've communicated through the right channels. So we'll see what happens as we move forward. I'm not sure. We'll just wait for a response. No one personally called me from the league, so.
You said that you think you should.
Yeah.
So Bears think you should.
Yep.
That seems like.
Yeah. So it'll be up to the league and how they see it. We've had conversations. Yeah.
What's your overall opinion of the rule itself? Just from your standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I think it is a little strange. I mean, at the end of the day, you should want to develop your staff regardless of the color of their skin. I think that's important. I think we take a lot of pride with the Bears on how we have our setup. And I take a lot of pride in that. So to be compensated for that's a little strange. I mean, I saw the Chiefs get a pick because of me, and then I watched that player go and play. It's just a little odd. But at the end of the day, if they think that's what's best to help incentivize, then that's what they wanted to do. But at the end of the day, like I said, that's not the purpose of why we develop our staff. But if that's the rule they have in place, then I think it's very clear in the situation what should happen. But we'll see what they think.
Bears GM Ryan Poles talking about essentially what I call the Bears tax, where Ian Cunningham, the former assistant GM, was hired by the Falcons to be their GM. Now, usually what happens, because he was still under contract with the Bears, the Falcons get him. The Bears are supposed to get compensatory picks for him to make up for the fact that they took one of their executives while they were still under contract. But the Falcons have somehow weaseled their way out of it by saying, oh, no. Ian Cunningham's not going to be making the decisions. Our president, Matt Ryan's going to be. Which, frankly, is just absolutely ridiculous. And, of course, the league's just like, yeah, that's okay. And it really gets me on this thing called the Bears tax. You might have seen it on social media if you're on there, where for some reason the Bears get treated differently than other teams. Like if Ian Cunningham came from the Packers, for instance, the Packers would get those compensatory picks, but because it's the Bears, it seems like, because they're the Bears, they're getting screwed. Yeah, I don't know, you guys, because Drew, I know you said you hadn't heard of the Bears tax before.
No, this is the first time I've heard of it. So like you explaining this to me and like hearing like I didn't even understand that. I didn't know if you did change a team. Like to me, it makes sense. Like I never, after reading into it and hearing what you were talking about earlier today, Ernie, like if a GM or executive like owner makes a move under contract, I mean, the only reason you should be able to move to a competitor in the league. Think about if I was in a regular day, everyday job. Usually, you sign a non-compete, like you can't disclose or compete against fellow.
Of course,
yeah. So or you have to work a certain mile radius away is usually, again, that's more in like maybe in Illinois area, maybe than in other places. But
at least for the here.
Yeah, if you're under contract, right? So like the fact that he's able to leave his job, go to another place, and then basically not be any consequences because of you, like, again, you were under contract is kind of ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, because Cunningham was even asked about it, and he was even bamboozled by it. Like, he even said that the Bears should have gotten picks, and to add on to what Pohl said, he even said that, when he went from Kansas City to the Bears, the Chiefs got picks because he was still under contract with them. And he even made a comment of he's even seen the players that the Chiefs picked with those picks that they got from the Bears out on the field. So
they could be playing for the Bears.
Those could be Bears players, but instead they're Chiefs players. And it really got me thinking. There's been a lot of times over the years where I think the Bears tax has come in because you could say I'm putting on a tinfoil hat. I'm a biased fan. Whatever. I'm biased. I love my team. I want what's best for them. But it's just infuriating. It's like this is something that happens all the time when executives jump from one team to another. Now, maybe this is true or not true. The Falcons might have recognized that and were like, we can take advantage of the Bears and not have to give anything up. Yeah. Now, they might. I want them to appeal this.
Which I believe that, Ryan Pohl's in the interview said there's going to be more discussions. Now, my question is to you, or either, one of you can answer this, is it different because Ryan Pohl's came from, again, Kansas City, who have been good, right? And to the Bears, who, again, I know at the time they were bad, but still a bigger franchise, bigger known franchise throughout the league.
Right.
Compared to, like, going to the Falcons, who I would say don't have they've only had, how many years have the Falcons really been, like, top tier?
They've been to 2 Super Bowls and lost both. So wonder what happened that second one.
Yeah. So it's like, since you know what the Falcons as an organization is to most people, like, is that why you, like, the NFL is like, oh, yeah, well, they did get an exec kind of to leave over to the Falcons, but, they're kind of not going to say they're a bad franchise, but, like, not in the same realm as Kansas City Chiefs as of right now and the Bears. So it's like, it's okay.
I think another factor is that they said the one making the decisions is Matt Ryan, who was one of the NFL's golden boys when he was in his prime. He was Matty Ice.
Yeah.
He was Matty Ice. He was MVP. Like, it wouldn't be that much different if, say, Aaron Rodgers tomorrow became an executive.
Now, Ernie, hold on 1 second. Okay, you said Matt Ryan was the golden boy, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you really think about it, the Chicago Bears are the oldest franchise in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Well,
one of the oldest.
Since the Bears tax has been around for the longest. Then.
Well, in that case, the Bears being the big prominently known, like they're one of the more storied franchises in the NFL. Let's make an example out of one of the more storied franchises in the NFL. That makes sense all of a sudden now, doesn't it?
That you're saying that the
Bears are basically being bullied because of the fact that they're one of the more like storied franchises in the NFL.
I wouldn't say it's because of that, because my counter argument is that there was always leeway given to Green Bay, who's only a year older than the Bears. They're like one of the oldest teams. And then you look at the Cardinals, they are the oldest team, but really how many people say, oh yeah, the Cardinals, what a great franchise? No one says that about the Cardinals. The Cardinals are terrible.
Yeah, as far as the Cardinals goes, I think that's just a pity case.
I just don't understand where where fairness, and again, it was kind of actually interesting that even polls kind of brought up color into it. I mean, it was surprising because you don't really think. I mean, I wasn't going to go into color.
I saw it as, him bringing it up because of how the political climate is now, which, I mean, sure,
listen,
why not?
If he has to bring up color into the argument for the Bears to get picks, I'm all for it.
Yeah, because the NFL will fold because of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like we've seen what's been painted on the field. Yeah. They will fold.
Yeah, so
and especially I could also bring up the Brian Flores case too.
Colin Kaepernick came knocking.
Yeah, as well. Now,
well, that one, but let's move on.
Now, when we were coming up for today's show, I thought of a really good that thanks to Esteban here, actually. What is a true rival? Who is a true rival? Can everyone be each other's rival? Or is there something in a rival that truly makes it special and not just, an average run-of-the-mill game that you see on Tuesday night? And you'll hear that and more here on Scoreboard Therapy.
Looking for a great bargain? Want to find cool collectibles? Need to get fresh fruit and vegetables for the family? Come on down to Swaparama. 3 great locations, 42nd and Ashland in Chicago, Melrose Park, and Alsip, with hundreds of indoor and outdoor vendors selling clothing, tools, electronics, and much, much more.
Holy cow.
Have stuff for sale? Become a Swaparama vendor and turn your hidden treasure into cash. Visit their website for market days, hours, and vendor information. Go to swap-o-rama.com. Swaparama, the first name in flea markets.
Big Apple Bagels at the corner of Jefferson and Exeter says, get fresh with us. Stop in for 3 free bagels. Just mention you heard it on the radio. Big Apple Bagels says, sample the Oreo cookie bagels or the Oreo cookie and cream cheese, as well as delicious pumpkin cream cheese. Try Booster Gourmet Coffee, along with big, soft, chewy bagels at the Big Apple Bagels. Open 6 to 6, Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, Saturday, and 7 to 2 on Sunday for your convenience. Go to BigAppleBagels.com and punch out a coupon for 3 free bagels. Big Apple Bagels at the corner of Jefferson and Exeter. Enjoy it. Sunday, May 8th, Chief Mother Like Royalty, board and Odyssey Cruise. Experience a lavish Mother's Day brunch on an early dinner cruise, spectacular views of the Chicago skyline, library entertainment, great food and fun. But hurry, our Mother's Day cruise are selling out fast. For admission or information on Mother's Day and other cruising events, go to odysseycruise.com or 866-305-2469. Create lasting memory and celebrate Mother's Day, special Mother's Day cruise on Odyssey Cruise, 866-305-2469 or odysseycruises.com.
Did you know that Club New in Aurora is the ultimate entertainment complex? Monday nights, it's free football and darts in the sports bar. Tuesday night is league night. Join the pool or darts teams. Wednesday night is ladies' night at Club New. All ladies get in free. Gentlemen pay $5 cover after 9 p.m. Thursday night, start the weekend off right with college flashback night. Low price drinks, retro music, and an awesome buffet. Friday and Saturday night, it's the hottest dance club in the suburbs. Club New Nightclub and Sports Bar is located at 2121 New York Street in Aurora. It's the summer of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. To reach peak summer mode, you need your summer coffee. Like a smooth new s'mores frozen Dunkin' coffee, a refreshing butter pecan iced coffee, or a sweet coconut cream pie cold brew. What could be better than an iced or frozen coffee on a hot summer day? Nothing! Dunkin' Donuts has all your favorite flavors this summer. So, come enjoy the summer of coffee. And keep cool out there, kids. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Is it you or is it me? Looks like we'll have to open up and find out here on Scoreboard Therapy. Welcome back. All right. We are back. Now, rivalries. I am a rival of Esteban because this is his first day on the show. And he's a rookie versus a vet. And we just Ernie did have to just dip out for a little bit because he has to head on to work. So we're just going to two-man this crew real quick. So, rivals. We are going to be discussing who are the most anticipated top biggest sports rivals in all of sports. So, since we've been talking about football a lot, let's kick it off with football to start. Who are your, let's go, top 3 biggest rivals in football, Esteban?
Well, are we hold on. I'm sorry.
Yes, make sure you talk to them.
Are we speaking like teams or players now?
Teams. Let's go teams for everything.
Well,
if we have time, we get into some players. But let's go teams.
I'm an avid Bears fan, so obviously I can't really stand the people up north.
If you see me on the camera, I know you can't see.
He's doing his best impression of Caleb Williams.
Best impression of Caleb Williams with the cheese grater.
Honestly, of all the teams in the NFC North, because let's face it, the Bears have rivalries with each one of the teams in the NFC North.
Mm-hmm.
Of all of the teams in the NFC North, you'd probably be shocked to hear that. I don't know who I respect more, the Detroit Lions or the Minnesota Vikings. Probably the Detroit Lions, because, let's go with that one. So it would probably be Packers are, number 1 up there because I can't stand them for dear life. Even though, fun fact, I used to play Little League football. My football team literally was a spitting image of the Packers. Horrible. Okay. Horrible, but yeah. So the Packers are number 1. The Vikings, it's just like the Vikings. It's not the team that I don't like. It's just their incompetence. Like the Vikings, I feel like are the Vikings, and this could be a bit of a stretch when I say this. I feel like the Vikings are the Cleveland Browns of the NFC North.
Yeah, I can see it. I don't know if I still think back when I think about the Vikings, I see Adrian Peterson, but I can't really see anybody with the Browns in the offensive realm. I know they have Myles Garrett now, but AP was a different breed in itself. But okay, so those are your 3?
Yeah, Detroit is like my most respected in the NFC North, and then the Packers are like I wouldn't even wipe my feet on the Packers.
So all your teams have to do, all your like biggest rivals have to do with the Bears in football.
Which is
fine, which is fine because that's what you feel. Having a rival. Listen, having a mortal enemy is definitely you have to feel a certain way towards them. For me, again, Packers Bears is the easy one for me to say right off the bat. But I think with a good number 2, and maybe this is because I went to school in Baltimore, I think Ravens versus Steelers. You have those like,
oh my god,
2000 and like, what was that, 10, 11 matchups, I think, where it's like Ray Lewis taking on Ben Roethlisberger, Troy Polamalu. It's like this. So Packers and Bears number 1. Number 2 is easily Steelers Ravens for me, like all time list, because I used to watch those games because I wasn't even in college in Baltimore at that time. But anytime I'd play Madden, me and my friends were like, okay, we can't choose the Bears because, well, it's also the Bears and 2010. And only so good. So it's like, we're going to choose the Steelers and the Ravens, and we're just going to let Ben Roethlisberger go against Troy Polamalu. And I got, who else was on? Hines Ward was on that team. And it's just
honestly,
like hard hitters. So that's my number 2 team.
Honestly, when it comes to the Steelers, dude, there is one person on the Steelers that to this day, even in his retirement, I wouldn't mess with him.
Oh, James Harrison.
The guy is an animal.
Yes. Yeah. No. So it's like, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
But funniest thing about him, he's built like a house, but he sounds like this.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. No, he's a monster, and I don't care what his voice sounds like. I'm not going to get into a weightlifting competition with him. And then my third team that I would say was like my favorite rivalry. Wow, I can't even say that word so many times. To watch in football was the Patriots versus the Colts. And again, this goes in that same growing up childhood because it's literally
Brady Manning.
And I just see those guys were just like, mental like warfare that was happening on the field while watching them play football.
Funny story about the Brady Manning rivalry. Every time, and this was me being a fully biased fan or whatnot. I grew up idolizing the Patriots because fun story again going back to my childhood when I used to play football. I didn't know how to play football at all when I first started playing. So so they told me to sit down and watch a game or two just to get my bearings, just to get an understanding of the game. Turns out that I was watching college football. I watched the Oregon Ducks, right?
Okay.
So then I came back to my coach and I was like, hey, I watched the NFL or the Oregon Ducks were playing. You could just imagine the look on my coach's face when I told him that one. So he's like, no, sit down. Watch sports on Sunday. So, I tuned into a Patriots game and I saw Tom Brady and I'm like, sure enough, Tom Brady was my first ever experience in the NFL. Mm-hmm. He won that game. I can't really remember what game he was playing because it was so long ago, but I remember he won. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, I came back and I'm like, I like Tom Brady. Do you know who Tom Brady is? Yeah, he's the quarterback for the New England Patriots. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, but even now, to this day, I can't stand the Patriots, dude.
You like Tom Brady?
After his third Super Bowl, dude. After his third Super Bowl, I'm looking at him like, all right, man, come on, give someone else a chance.
But do you like Michael Jordan? See where I hit. So we like greatness only in some aspects, huh?
Well, I mean, that greatness Tom Brady wasn't great here in the city of Chicago.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
So, dude, you could just imagine the looks on people's faces when I was going around saying, "Yeah, Peyton Manning is full on 100% better than Tom Brady."
Oh, I was Team Peyton Manning growing up as well, all day long, and he beat the Bears, so that wasn't fun to watch as well.
Stats and accolades are different, though.
Yes,
of course.
Yes. All right, so let's kick it next. Let's go some baseball. All right, number one, I'm just going to start this off the back. Yankees Red Sox is the best rivalry in all of sports. I'm sorry, Yankees Red Sox is top tier rivalry every single time. I know Red Sox, they find a way to make the game interesting every single year. And that 03 to 04, where it's like Derek Jeter versus Big Papi, A-Rod, Pedro Martinez. It's like all these guys that are just like, this is just, if every game they play, it feels like playoff baseball. That they are my top rivalry in all sports. Yeah, nothing to say.
Honestly, dude. When it comes to that one, when it comes to rivalries in baseball, why does my mind always go back to the Michael Barrett punch?
Cubs and White Sox, that's a big one. You have two Chicago teams.
Michael Barrett absolutely laid the lumber on AJ Pierzynski, dude.
No, again, that's a perfect example. That's a really good rivalry, White Sox and Cubs. It's kind of an interesting one now, though, because Yankees Red Sox still feels like good games. Where the Cubs White Sox, weirdly enough, the White Sox find a way to play their best baseball, usually against the Cubs, but then they have the worst season ever now. So it's it's a weird one now. And the White Sox won in spring training, so I don't know how much that really leans into it. But that rivalry it's a good one. I obviously being from Chicago, it's a great one. But it doesn't give me all-time great at least feel. Maybe it hits a little bit more home.
Not anymore, at least.
Where I see Dodgers Giants, even though the Giants are not a powerhouse anymore, it's every time the Dodgers would play the Giants, it was a fight. Puig would try to take out Madison Bumgarner and absolutely murder him. It's a fight every single time, and it's been going. This is like 100-year battle of these teams just despising each other, and I feel like there's a fight every single time they play. And again, it's just fun to watch.
That's exactly it. That's what draws my attention. Where it's hey, I'm watching baseball, but all of a sudden it's I go from watching baseball to watching I don't know if I'm watching WWE, baseball, or UFC, but it's like, man, I love it. Keep going. You know?
Mm-hmm. I can't compare it to hockey, obviously, because there's actual fights in hockey. I would say baseball has, like, I feel like sometimes the most punches thrown. Because, like, okay, no, sorry. Football beats it all because people will, like, legit throw hands and try to punch you in a helmet. But, like, basketball, I feel like there's so much pushing and shoving where, like, nothing really comes out of it.
I feel like the refs get in between it before, like, they get in between and simmer everything down before it pops off. Because look at what happened in the look what happened with Detroit and Indiana or the Pacers.
Yeah. That's where I feel like MLB, like, you'll get punched. Like, I mean, we see every year, like, Tim Anderson gets punched by some guy, or or Jose, and it's like, or like a pitcher runs at a hitter, hitter like charges him out. And I feel like you see that a lot more at baseball. So I feel like it makes the rivalries even better because you're getting these, like, scuffles every single time. And I feel like some punches are usually thrown. Bryce Harper threw his helmet one time. I don't know if you ever saw that video. It's like Bryce Harper threw his helmet and it, like, flew across the diamond trying to hit the pitcher.
That's insane, dude.
Speaking of, I mean, you brought it up. Top basketball rivalries. Here we go. What do you got?
Honestly, when I think of basketball rivalries, dude, I don't even know if this is a rivalry, but just based off of what happened, dude, like, I just mentioned this earlier. The Indiana Pacers and the Detroit Pistons, right? The Malice in the Palace?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're rivalries, dude, but just based off of that significant event right there, if I'm Detroit going into Indiana or vice versa, I'm looking at the team across from me like I'm gonna rip your.
No, Pacers and Pistons are both in the Central Division, so, like, they see each other a lot. So I think it's worth saying that they are a rivalry, and again, that fight alone gives it enough to be like, this is an all-time match.
I can't stand your guts.
Yeah, I think a big one. I mean, this is probably more a little bit. I mean, at certain point, it was like Knicks versus Bulls. It was a weird one with the Bulls because they were so good for so long. But, like, there was a time frame where it was like Bulls, Celtics, Bulls, Magic, Bulls. Like, I feel like it was like Bulls had like 3 different rivalries going on at once. Bulls, Pistons, right? It's like you almost had 3 rivalries like in one. So, like, almost everybody against the Bulls. And then you turn it more towards, like, I would like to think I like a lot more of Bulls versus Heat again around the time growing up was a good one.
Jimmy Butler and Derrick Rose versus Dwayne Wade,
LeBron, and I thought that was a very heated rivalry where it was like this. They are going at each other. Is it all time? I think for the time being, like, it felt like a good, and again, it kind of stunk because Derrick Rose got injured, so it was like you never got to see it grow, but it was a great rivalry. I think 76ers Celtics is one till this day that is like, this is a heated matchup. I think even Celtics Lakers, that one is like an all-time great where Celtics Lakers, these are all 2 all-time great teams. Every time they go on the floor, tickets are sold out. It's Celtics versus Lakers. Neither team, I feel like, will never be bad at basketball. And you have Lakers, West Coast, Celtics, East Coast. Matchups always great.
Let me take it back to the 90s for a little minute. If you really think about it, dude, every time the Bulls went to the finals in the 90s, those finals matchups were heated, dude. Oh, yeah. So, like, you got the Utah Jazz, you got who else was it? The Utah Jazz, and basically, dude, literally every time the Bulls went up to the finals, like the 7 times, 6, right?
Yes.
Those 6 times, dude, those 6 separate teams, we have at least, not counting our actual like rivals, like that are our actual known rivals. I like to think, like, yeah, each and every one of them teams, like, we had rivalries with quite a few teams back in the 90s, dude.
And it was because this sport was more physical. And with the sport being more physical, you have people again trying to. If you drive the lane, you better know you're going to get an elbow to the chest and get put down, right? Like, and I feel like those exact rivalries that you are talking about, like, go into some of them created what we know as like all-time rivalries. Like, I could imagine the people before us who watched like Kareem and see these like Lakers teams go against these Celtics teams, going like Kevin McHale, like seeing these like giant matchups, Knicks, like these are like rivalries that stemmed from past like heated battle. Like a rivalry is a heated battle, right? You do not like this team because you've gone to war against them. And it gets tough nowadays where like the Bulls aren't good. So it's like, who is realistically our rival? Is the Knicks our rival? I mean, we just got steamrolled by them. Is anyone our rival? Like it should. People should be.
Who do the Bulls actually pose a threat to?
Nobody, and that's where it's a tough one when you when I think of all-time great rivals, it's teams that like realistically they are almost never bad. When's the last time you heard the Celtics being bad? When's the last time you heard the Lakers being bad? When's the last time you heard the Yankees being bad?
Well, the Lakers,
like, and again, bad. Like I'm talking about, like.
I mean, you had that debacle with Anthony Davis on the Lakers during those times.
Okay, but they had LeBron, no?
Yeah.
Anytime you had LeBron, you made playoffs. So, like, I'm talking about you are like White Sox right now. You can't say that they are, again, almost like a rival with like the Cubs, because the Cubs are, I mean, as of right now, the Cubs on paper are a better team and they're going to have a better seat. Like, even Vegas has them slotted better. So it's like, yes, they are rivals, but there's
no competition.
It's tough now when some teams have fallen off so hard that it's like, I know it's supposed to be a rivalry, but it just feels like again, Bears have been bad for so long that the Packers have just been steamrolling them. And it's like, oh my goodness, this year we won 2 out of 3 games. We beat them in the playoffs. Like it's as Bears fans, we feel like, oh yeah, now finally after all
now
these
we're on
years,
top of the world.
Well, they still own us if you look at the overall record versus the Packers. But right now, this rivalry has turned the tide, and we are going to be running this team for a while now, right? And this is where the rivals like finally heat back up, and it's like, good, finally, this is what we've been waiting, Bears fans, just to beat the Packers on their home turf all the time. That's what I think makes a good rivalry.
Honestly, going back to the 90s, I feel like a big contributing factor to them rivalries that the Bulls had throughout those years. Michael Jordan, dude, the man just eats, sleeps, and dreams about competition.
Kobe Bryant, same thing.
And I feel like that's why, like, those 2 eras of basketball, dude, are probably one of the more competitive eras of basketball that you're probably going to be able to see, at least in our lifetime.
I would say I would go on a limb and say early LeBron versus, like, Cleveland or a little bit in Miami. I know, again, Miami is a little bit fun, but, like, he got beat by Dallas Mavericks, and it's like, those games were like intense to watch, and now it's like, okay, LeBron's kind of old. Who's gonna take charge next? It's
Little
like
Bronny.
I don't know about that. But yeah.
I mean, hey,
this is where like the Lakers have to start moving some. They brought in Luka, obviously, now to hopefully like, and Luka's definitely a chippy player.
He's
like
solid,
and he gets into it with other players, and Joker does the same thing on the Nuggets, where it's like, okay, now who's gonna take the rivalry to like the next level? Again, Celtics with Jason Tatum, and you have these again. Yankees have Judge, and again, Red Sox have a good young core too. They have Anthony Roman and Duran, and it's like you almost have like a next segment of like this rivalry like growing, and like again where we see it, and this is kind of because we're running a little bit over time. This is in sports where like you see players. You said Michael Barrett. If you had a guess or say anything about Michael Barrett, what do you know about him?
He was the catcher for the Chicago Cubs.
And what else? I mean, how was he?
Yeah, that's where. Yeah.
So, but no, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Michael Barrett, right? He was, let me see his lifetime average just to kind of get it in there. Lifetime average 263, which would be fine now. Played how many MLB seasons? I mean, played a good amount. Played over 10. It looks like MLB seasons over 10. So it's like, okay, you're never going to talk about him being like the star or the guy, but that fight alone makes you remember
the spotlight.
Gives you the spotlight. It heats up the team, and now every time the White Sox and the Cubs are playing each other that whole year, it was like, oh my gosh, White Sox versus Cubs, AJ.
We're going to expect another punch. You're
going to expect another punch, or you're going to expect somebody to throw at somebody, and that's why we saw Puig with Madison Bumgarner with Dodgers Giants. It's like, again, you see these teams and some players, they might not go on to have great careers, but they make themselves known in the city that they are in, Chicago, just for this example. Hey, that guy, yeah, he went to war for the Cubs, or he went to like
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
You need that one significant player who's not going to be afraid to hey, I don't care what the coach is, I don't care what the staff, I don't care what everyone else thinks. I'm standing up for what I believe, and I believe I'm right, even if I'm wrong. I'm going to throw a punch just to prove my point.
Yeah. And again, this is what makes sports fun and interesting, and rivalries. Love them in sports, and I mean, as much as we can make, I wish more star players now would get a little I didn't want Anthony Edwards in I don't know. I want Anthony Edwards in a Wemby to go at it or something. Give me something. Give me something so I can be or Giannis versus Wemby, just going at each other, trying to take each other's head off during the game. It's like this. All right, this is good to watch, right?
Could you imagine Derrick Rose going at LeBron James, both in their primes? Because they did have a bit of a back and forth when
they did
when it was the Heat and the Bulls.
Derrick Rose went at him. Absolutely, Derrick Rose was going at LeBron, and he up and undered on LeBron. I think he dunked by LeBron. LeBron couldn't. DeBron. Now I fuse the names. LeBron couldn't handle and nobody could handle Derrick Rose at that time. But that's what makes rivalries fun, and players go want to take each other's head off. But
could you imagine if LeBron James were to just get frustrated with Derrick Rose one day and just throw a punch at him?
It'd be the first bad thing LeBron James has done in his career.
I mean,
maybe. But with that, Esteban, thank you for coming on Scoreboard Therapy today. Appreciate having you.
Yes, sir. My pleasure.
And that will wrap up today's show. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. We will see you back here tomorrow on Scoreboard Therapy.